हेलो भैया, तो आज हम लोग कर रहे हैं क्लास तो नहीं है, बस हमारा जो पॉलिटी है उसका चैप्टर पार्ट 1 का चैप्टर 5 प्रीएम्बल्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, वो हम लोग कर रहे हैं। द अमेरिकन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वाज द फर्स्ट टू बिगिन विद द प्रीएम्बल। मैनी कंट्रीज फॉलोड दिस मैनी कंट्रीज इंक्लूडिंग इंडिया फॉलोड दिस प्रैक्टिस। द टर्म प्रीएम्बल रेफर टू द इंट्रोडक्शन or preface of the constitution. It contains the summary or essence of the constitution. N.A. Falkawala, an eminent jurist and the constitutional expert, called the preamble as the identity card of the constitution. The preamble of the Indian Constitution is based on the objective resolution drafted and moved by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and adopted by the Constitution Assembly. It has been amended by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, which added three new words: socialist, secular, and integrity. सो टेक्स्ट ऑफ द प्रीएम्बल, जो जैसा टेक्स्ट लिखा है हमें वो हम लोग पहले देखते हैं। द प्रीएम्बल इज इन प्रेजेंट फॉर्म, we the people of India having the solemnly we are the people of having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of the thought expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and the integrity of the nation. In our the Constitution Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, to do hereby adopted, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Ingredient of the preamble. The preamble reveal four ingredient or component. First, source of the authority of constitution. The preamble states that the constitution derives its authority from the people of the India. Second, nature of the Indian state. It declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republic polity. Objective of the Constitution. It specifies justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity as objective. Date of the adaptation. Fourth, date of the adaptation of the Constitution. It stipulates November 26, 1949 as the date. Keyword in the preamble. Certain keyword sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity are explained as follow. First, sovereignty. The word sovereign implies that India is neither a dependency or nor a dominion of the any other nation. By an independent state, there is no authority above it, and it is free of conduct. It owns affairs both internal and external. Through in 1949, India declares the constitution of her full membership of the Commonwealth of the nation and adopt the British Crown as a head of the Commonwealth. And this extra constitutional declaration does not affect India's sovereignty in any manner. Further, India's membership of the United Nations Organization (UNO) and also in no way constitute a limitation on her sovereignty. Being a sovereign state, India can neither be acquire a foreign country territory or cede a part of its territory in favor of a foreign state. Second, socialist. Even before the term socialist was added, the 42nd Amendment in 1976, the constitution has socialist content in the form of certain directive principle of state policies. In other words, what with Hatyato implications. Till the passage of the Indian Independence Act 1947, India was a dependency colony of British Empire from August 1947 to January 26, 1955. So in 1915, India political status was that of the Dominion in the British Commonwealth of nation. India ceased to be British Dominion on the January 1915 by declaring herself a sovereign republic. However, Pakistan continued to be a British dominion until 1956. To dispel the lucrating fear of some members of the Constitution Assembly, Pandit Nehru said in 1949, "Thus pledge we should pledge long ago to a nation lose its independence by the alliances with another countries. Alliances normally means commitment. The free association of the sovereign commonwealth of the nation does not involve the such commitment. Its very strength lies in its flexibility and its complete freedom. It is a well known that it is open or to any member of the nation to go out of the commonwealth if it so choose. He further stated it is an agreement by the free will to be terminated by the free will. India become a member of the UNO in 1945. In the constitution has now been made actually explicit. Moreover, the Congress party itself adoption a resolution established a socialist pattern of society in it Avida session as is earlier in 1995 and took measures accordingly. Notably, the Indian brand of socialism is a democratic socialism and not a communistic socialism, also known as state socialism, which involve the nationalism of all means of the production and distribution and the abolition of the private property. Democratic socialism, on the other hand, hold faith in the mixed economy, where both public and the private sector coexist side by side, as the Supreme Court says. Democratic socialism aims to end poverty, ignorance, and diseases and inequality of opportunity. India's socialism is blend of Marxism and Gandhism, leaning heavily towards the Gandhian socialism. The new economic policies 1991 of liberalization, privatization, and globalization has, however, diluted the socialist credential of Indian state. Third, secular. The term secular was added by the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act 1976. However, as the Supreme Court said in 1974, the resolution said the in order to realize the object of Congress and to further the objective stated in the preamble and directive principle of the state policy of the Commission Constitution of India, planning should take place with view to the establishment of the socialistic pattern of the society where the principal means the production are under social ownership or control. Production is progressively speeded up, and there is a equitable distribution of the nation wealth. The Prime Minister Indira Gandhi said, "We have always said that we have own brand of socialism. We will nationalize the section where we feel it necessary. Just nationalization is not our type of socialism." GB Pant University Agriculture Technology State versus State of Uttar Pradesh. Nakara versus Union of State 1982. Although the word secular state were not expressed and mentioned in the constitution, there can be no doubt that constitution makers want to establish such a state, and accordingly Article 25 to 28 guaranteeing the fundamental right to freedom of religion has been included in the constitution. The India Constitution embedded in the positive concept of secularism, i.e., all religion in our country, irrespective of their strength, have the same status and support from the state. Fourth, democratic. A democratic polity, stipulated in the preamble, is based on the doctrine of the popular sovereignty, that is, a possession of the supreme power by the people. On the basis of the attitude of the state toward religion, three types of state can be conceived of: a aesthetic state. The state is anti-religion and the hence condemn of all religion. Uh, Theoretic state, theocratic states, the state is a pro-religion and the hence declare one particular religion as the state religion. As for the example, Bangladesh, Burma, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and so on. Secular state, a state is a neutral in the matter of religion and hence does not uphold any particular religion as a state religion. As for the example, USA and India. G.S. Pandey, Constitution Law of India, Allahabad Law Agency, 8th edition, 2002. The then UN, sorry, the then Union Law Minister H.R. Gokhale defined the concept as that there will be freedom, liberty of faith and worship, whatever religion you belong to. The state will not having anything to do a state with any religion expecting to treat every religion equally, but the state will not have any foundation of religion similarities. Similarly, PV Gajendra Gatkar, a former Chief Justice of India, defined secularism as a Indian constitution in the following ways: the state does not owe loyalty to any particular religion. As such, it not irrelevant or anti-religious. It give equal freedom to all religion. The term democracy is derived from the two Greek word, namely demo and the kritia, meaning pupil and the rule respectively. Democracy is of two type: direct and indirect. In the indirect democracy, the people exercise their supreme power directly. As the in case of Switzerland, there are four devices of directive democracy, namely referendum, initiative, recall, and plebiscite. In indirect democracy, on the other hand, the representative elected by the people exercise the supreme power and thus carry on the government and make their laws. This type of democracy, also known as representative democracy, is of the two kind of parliamentary and presidential. The Indian Constitution provide for the representative parliamentary democracy, under the which executive is responsible to the legislature for all policies and action. Universal and franchisees, period elections, rule of the law, independence of the judiciary, and absence of discrimination on certain ground are called manifestation of the democratic character of Indian polity. The term democratic is used in the preamble in the broader sense, embracing not only political democracy but also social and economic democracy. Dimensions are stressed by the Dr. Ambedkar in the concluding speech in the Constitution Assembly on November 25, 1949, in the following ways: the political democracy cannot last unless there is lies at the base of the social democracy. What a social democracy means? It means a way of the life which recognize liberty, equality, and fraternity. The principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity are not to be treated as referendum. So understand the some keywords. Referendum is a procedure whereby the proposed legislation is referred to the electorate for the settlement by the directive votes. Initiative in the method by the mean which the people can propose a bill or the legislature for the enactment. Recall is a method of the means of which the voters can remove a representative or an officer before the expiry of his term when he failed to discharge his duty properly. Publicite. Publicite is a method to obtaining the opinion of the people on any issue public importance. It is generally used to solve terrestrial dispute. Separation. Separate. Sorry, but finished. Word meanings: separate items in a trinity. They form union of a trinity in the sense that to divorce one from the other is to defeat the very purpose of democracy. Liberty cannot be divorced from the equality. Equality cannot be divorced. Equality cannot Equality cannot be divorced from liberty, nor can liberty and equality be divorced from the fraternity. Without equality, liberty would produce the supremacy of the few over the many. Equality without liberty would kill individual initiatives. In the same context, the Supreme Court observed 1997 the Constitution envisioned to establish an egalitarian social order and social ordering to every citizen. Social, economic, and political justice is a social and economic democracy of the Bharat Republic. Fifth Republic. Our democratic polity can be classified into two categories: monarchy and republic. In a monarchy, the head of the state, usually the king or queen, enjoy a hereditary position that he come to official through succession. Example: Britain. In republic, on the other hand, the head of the state is always elected directly or indirectly for a fixed period. Example: USA. Therefore, the term republic in our preamble indicate that India has an elected head called the president. She is elected indirectly for a fixed period, 5 year. A republic also means two more things: one, vested on the political sovereignty in the people and not a single individual like kings. Second, the absence of any privileged class, and hence all public office being open to every citizen without any discrimination. Sixth, justice. The term justice in the preamble embraces three distinct forms: social, economic, and political, secured through various precisions of fundamental right and active principles. Social justice denotes the equal treatment of the all citizens without any social distinction based on the caste, color, race, religion, sex, and so on. It means absence of the privilege being extended to any particular section of the society, and improvement in the condition of the backward classes, SC, ST, and OBCs and women. Economic justice denote the non-distinct discrimination between the people on the basis of the economic factors. It involves the elimination of the glaring inequality in wealth, income, and prosperity. Property. A combination of the social justice and economic justice denote what is known as distributive justice. Political justice implies that all citizens should have been equal political right, equal access to the all political right, equal access to all political office, and the equal voice in the government. The ideal justice, social justice, economic and political, has been taken from the Russian Revolution 1917. Seven, liberty. The term liberty means the absence of the restraint on the activities of the individual, and at the same time providing opportunities for the development of individual personalities. And the preamble secular to all citizens of the India's liberty of thought, expressions, belief, faith, and worship through their fundamental rights enforcement in the court of law in case of violation. Liberty, as elaborated in the preamble, is very essential for the successful functioning of the Indian democratic system. However, liberty does not mean the license to do what one like and has to be enjoyed within the limitation mentioned in the Constitution itself. And briefly, the liberty conceived by the preamble of the fundamental rights is not absolute but qualified. The ideal liberty, equality, and fraternity in our preamble have been taken from the French Revolution 1789 to 1799. Equality. The term equality means the absence of the special privileges to any section of the society. and the provision of the adequate opportunities for the all individual without any discrimination. The preamble secure to all citizens of the India equality of status and opportunity. This provision embrace the three dimension of the equality: civic, political, and economic. The following provisions of the chapter on the fundamental right ensure civic equality: A. Equality before the law, Article 14. B. Provision of the discrimination on the ground of the religion, race, caste, sex, place, or worth. Article 15. C. Equality of the opportunity in matter of public employment. Article 16. D. Evolution of the untouchability. Article 17. Evolution of the titles. Article 18. There are two provisions in the Constitution that seek to achieve political equality. One, no person is to be declared ineligible for the inclusion in electoral roll on ground of religion, race, caste, or sex. Article 325. The two elections to Lok Sabha and the state assemblies to be on the basis of adult suffrage. Article 326. The directive principle of state policy. Article 39. Secures to men and women equal right to an educate mean of the livelihood and equal pay for equal work. 9. Fraternity. Fraternity means a sense of brotherhood to the Constitution promote the feeling of the fraternity by the system of a single citizenship. Also, the fundamental duty, Article 51A says that it shall be duty of every citizen of India to promote harmony and the spirit of the common brotherhood among the all all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, and the sectional diversities. Preamble declares the fraternity has assured to the two things: the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. The word integrity has been added to the preamble by the 42nd Amendment in 1976, according to the K.M. Munshi, the member of the drafting committee of the Constitution Assembly. At the phase dignity of the individual signifies the constitution not only ensure material betterment and maintain a democratic setup, but that it also recognize that the personality of every individual is scared. This is highlighted through some of the provisions of the fundamental right and directive principle of the state policy, which ensured the dignity of individual. Further, the fundamental duties, Article 51A, also protect the dignity of the woman by stating that it shall be duty of every citizen of India to renounce practices derogatory or to the dignity of women, and also make it its duty to every citizen of India to uphold the protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. The phrase unity and integrity of the nations embrace both the psychological and territorial dimension of the nation. Integration. Article 1 of the Constitution describes the India as a union of state, it to make it clear that the state have no right to secede from the union, implies in indestructible nature of the Indian Union. It aims to overcoming the hindrance or to nation integrity like communism, religionism, casteism, linguism, and secessionism on and so on. Significance of the preamble. The preamble embedded the basic philosophy and fundamental values, political, moral, and the religious, on which the constitution is based. Constitution Assembly and reflect the dream and aspiration of the foundation father of the constitution. In the other word, Sir Aladia Krishna Swami Iyer, a member of the Constitution Assembly, who played a significant role in the making of the constitution. The preamble to our constitution express what we had through our dreamed so long. According to K. M. Munshi, a member of the drafting committee of the Constitution Assembly, the preamble is a horoscope of our sovereign democratic republic. Pandit Thakur Das Bhagwan, another member of the Constitution Constitution summed up the importance of the preamble in the following words: the preamble is the most precious part of the constitution. It is a soul of the constitution. It is a key of the constitution. It is a jewel set in the constitution. It is a proper yardstick with which one can measure the worth of the constitution. Sir Arent Baker, a distinguished English political scientist, paid a growing tribute to the political wisdom of the author of the preamble. He described the preamble as a keynote to the constitution. He was so moved by the text of the preamble that is quoted it of the opening of his popular book, Principle of Social and Political Theories. Hityaullah, a former Chief Justice of India, observed the preamble resemble and declaration of the independence of the United States of America, but it is more than the declaration. It is the soul of our constitution, which lay down the pattern of the political society. It contains the solemn resolve which nothing but a revolution can alter. Preamble as a part of constitution. One of the controversies about the preamble is to whether it is a part of a constitution or not. It is in the Berubari Union case 1916. The Supreme Court said the preamble so the general purpose behind the several provision in the constitution, and it thus a key to the mind that of the makers of the constitutions. Further, where the term used in any article are ambiguous or capable of more than one meaning, some assistance and interpretation may be taken from the objective enshrined in the preamble. Despite the recognition of the significance of the preamble, the Supreme Court significantly opinioned that preamble is not a part of the constitution. In the Keswan Bharti case 1973, the Supreme Court rejected the earlier opinion and held the preamble is a part of the constitution. It is observed that the preamble is extremely important to the constitution, should be read and interpreted in the light of the grant and the novel vision expressed in the preamble. And the LIC of India case 1995, also the Supreme Court held again that the preamble is an integral part of the constitution like any other part of the constitution. The preamble was also enacted by the constitution was al- sorry constitution, but after the rest of the constitution was already enacted. The reason for the inserting the preamble at the end was to ensure that it was a conformity with the constitution as adopted by the constitution assembly. While forwarding the preamble for the vote, the president of the constitution assembly said the question is that preamble stand part of the conclusion. The motion was adopted. Hence, the current opinion held by the Supreme Court that the preamble is a part of the Constitution is in the consonance with the opinion of the founding father of the Constitution. However, the two parts should be noted. First, preamble is neither a source of the power of legislature nor a provision upon the power of legislature. It is a non-justable that the provision are the not enforceable in the court law. And some word meaning of this chapter. Uh, he said the preamble he said the preamble of the Indian Constitution stated in a brief, pithy form of argument of much of the book. It may accordingly serve as a keynote. He wrote, "I am all more." I am all more moved to quote it because I am proud of that the people of India should begin their independence life by the subscribing to the principle of the political tradition which we in the West called Western, which in now something more than the Western. M. Hatizullah, Democracy in India and the Judicial Processes, reference by the President of India 1960 under the Article 143, the Constitution on the implementation of the Indo-Pakistan Agreement of 1958, related in to Berubani Union exchange of the enclave Keswanand Bharti versus State Kerala, 1973, LIC of India versus Consumer Education and Research Centers, 1995, Constitution Assembly Debates, Volume 10, pp. For amendability of preamble. The question as to whether the preamble can be amended under Article 368 the Constitution arose from the first time in the historic Keswanand Bharti case 1973. It was argued that the preamble cannot be amended as it is not a part of Constitution. The petitioners contended that the amending power in Article 368 cannot be used to destroy damage the basic element of the fundamental feature of the Constitution which are enshrined in the preambles. The Supreme Court, however, held the preamble is a part of the Constitution. The court stated that the opinion tendered by it in the Beru Bari Union 1960 in the regard in this regard was wrong and hold that the preamble cannot be amended subject to the condition that no amendment is done to the basic feature. In the other word, the court held the basic element of the fundamental feature of the constitution is contained in the preamble cannot be altered by an amendment under article 368. The court observed the edifice of the constitution is upon the basic edified of a based upon the basic element mentioned in the preamble. In any of the element are removed, the structure will not survive, and it will not be the same constitution, or it cannot maintain the identity. An amending power cannot be interpreted so as it to confer power on the parliament. Confer power on the parliament to take away confer power. The confer power on the parliament to take away any of these fundamental and the basic characteristic of the polity. The preamble has been amended only once so far in 1976 by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, which is added three new words: socialist, secular, and integrity to the preamble. This amendment can held to the be valid. And about chapter 5, the preamble खत्म होता हुआ. I hope you understand the chapter.